Today's review video is going to be something completely different from all my other videos in regards. I've done trucks, I've done skid steers, I've done loaders, but I have not done my excavator yet. This has kind of been long overdue. The reason why I didn't do it this winter is because it was being worked on for the first time ever, believe it or not. So a little background on this. This is a Case CX36B. It weighs like 8,500 pounds. It is way too small for me, but I still use it all the time. It's good on little jobs, but a lot of the big hardscape jobs I do, I definitely wish it was twice as big, if not a little bit bigger. So things I had done to it this winter: had new sprockets put in, new rollers. It was squeaking unbelievably bad. The sprockets also were in desperate need of replacement. I probably should have got a new window. I was working by a boulder wall once, and I completely forgot that when you open this door, it goes past the excavator. Went to open it, blew out the window. I was pretty pissed off, but this thing doesn't have AC, so it's not like it's worth fixing anyway. And the little times that I do actually use it in cold weather, it has a really good fan in there for heat. So it seems to warm up my body just fine, but obviously my feet are pretty damn cold. It's equipped with a pretty good sized friggin' bucket for cleanup. I got a really small digging bucket also as well. I primarily just use this thing just because it's way bigger than the digging bucket, like twice as big. So you get stuff done like twice as fast realistically, unless I'm digging through really hard ground. Another thing that I had him do was the quick attach thing here. So this thing is beat like crazy, unbelievably bad. The actual nut in here that this bolt goes into broke loose, and the bolt or the nut was stripped really bad. So obviously went in there, pulled it apart, put a new nut in there. Works great now. Everything about this machine is really easy to grease, really easy to maintain. Everything's really easy to find, easy to locate. The one problem with the engine area that I see is it vibrates incredibly bad. Things go loose, things crack, stuff like that. Just little things. I know the fuel filter housing unit, these split apart and stuff, just because of the aggressive amount of shaking it does just when it's just idling. Section's really easy to get to as well. Very easy to work on, very easy to see. Obviously, hydraulic level right there. Really good setup, really good design. I bought this used. I obviously didn't buy it new. I bought this machine with a broken odometer, and it had 3,800 hours. And I'm not 100% sure, at least the previous owner was not sure how many hours it realistically had. But I can tell you, in the 5 years that I have owned this, I have definitely put more than 3,800 hours on it. I still don't have an odometer in it. It is used at least 3 times as much as the skid steers in the summer. It's just, it runs all day, every day, nothing but digging. I mean, it's extremely small for what I do, so it's constantly being used for stuff. My estimation for how many hours this has, jeez, it's got a lot. It's pretty ancient. It might have as much as 9,000 hours on it. I'm not 100% sure, obviously. I do all my digging with this. I don't do any digging with our skid steers. I primarily just use our skid steers to move pallets around on the hardscape jobs. The interior, don't mind it being wicked dirty. I just got it back. I need to detail it. Actually, not that bad. Pretty roomy, pretty comfy. I have no complaints. I'm 6'2". Obviously, I can't get my legs spread out completely, but it still works pretty good. The window, I actually love this setup here. Just 2 notches right there. Goes above your head just like that. So I always have this open in the summer, unless I'm pulling stumps. Obviously, if I'm pulling stumps, shit's gonna come through here and knock me out. So I don't really want to do that. Definitely not good visibility because the swing boom. If it was a standard boom, obviously you'd have better visibility, see your bucket, but swing's pretty good. Obviously you can get right over there, whatever angle you need. Obviously I don't have any like a rototilt or an edge con or anything like that on it. Just a simple bucket with a swing, and I don't really have any complaints. Obviously I can level myself out with my blade down there. That's pretty good. So overall power in this machine is pretty decent. I mean, obviously it's an 8,500 pound excavator. You can't really ask it to do that much. I rented a 12,000 pound machine once, and it really didn't seem to have that much more power than this. I mean, it was a Kubota. I can't remember the exact model, but I do know that it weighed 12,000 pounds. And it didn't really seem to outdig this at all. Ready? It is by far the most reliable thing that I have. It's the oldest machine that I have, and it has the most hours by far. I think the oldest thing that I have is a 2017 with 1,600 hours. This thing by far is the most reliable piece of equipment I have ever had, maybe besides my small Kubota tractor. But this thing has literally been worked on once, and that was this winter, just to replace some of the undercarriage stuff. We do like 2 or 3 oil changes on in a season, and we have had 0 issues with this realistically, besides blowing hoses every once in a while because we overwork it, and obviously that quick attach there. So by far, not even close, is the most reliable thing that I got. I never, ever, ever stress about this thing breaking down. It seems to pull through anything, and it's been through hell and back, trust me. I beat on this piece of equipment more than anything else that I own by far. It's not even close. The skid steers get babied, the loader gets babied, but this thing is put through hell. So my plans with this machine, to be quite honest, I really like it, and I do want to keep it. It is good for small trenching jobs and small walkways, or it's definitely not good for patios, but it's good for my smaller hardscape jobs and any drainage job. The downfall obviously is how small the bucket is. I think that's like 1/4 of a yard, but I realistically need something that's a little bit more than twice as big as this. Something that's 18,000 to 22,000 pounds, which my F750 with a 20-ton trailer can legally haul. So I have a 50,000 pound gross rating on this for a combined rating. And right now that setup is 17, and that's a 9,000 pound trailer. So that's 26,000 pounds right there. So I can legally get something that's 24,000 pounds on that. I really don't want to go that big. I'd rather stay closer to 20, just so I'm not maxing out the truck every single time that I move it. And I will be moving it a lot because I go through quite a bit of different hardscape jobs a year. But something 18,000 to 22,000 pounds is really what I'm looking for. Maybe like a Cat 308, a Kubota KX80. Not sure what they make for case. I'd definitely like to get another case, but it's definitely going to be a used machine. It's not going to be new. I'm going to try to find something with low hours, and that is hopefully fairly new. I really don't want to spend more than $50,000. I'm just going to write a check to buy it. I don't want to take out a loan. Well, this thing, I actually, my grandfather helped me buy this like 5 or 6 years ago. I can't remember now, but it might have been actually 6 years ago. So he gave me $10,000, and the deal was I work on his land, which I did, still am, and then I paid $16,000. So I invested $26,000 into this machine. I definitely made that much with it in my first year, let alone 4 years after it. So I can't wrap my head around buying an excavator brand new for, I'm thinking they're going for like 110 to 170, the size that I want. I just saw a Kubota KX. I mean, it had a rototilt and everything on it. That was for sale for like 167, brand new. So I think I'd rather just get something used. I'd really like to get a rototilt. That way I can actually utilize it in the winter. Fill up sand trucks with sand. Overall, I really do like this excavator. I really should have a second one. I should have had a second one years ago. So I'm just trying to pay off some things right now, and then I'm gonna go get one. But this thing has been nothing but good to us. It hasn't broke down yet. Not sure how long these things usually last. I do believe it has a Yarmar engine in it, which is supposedly a really good engine for mini excavators. And if somebody obviously knows, maybe put it down in the comments. I'm not a very mechanically inclined guy, so I don't know fucking shit. But I can tell you this thing's been really reliable, and it does go through hell. So if you're on Craigslist looking for a small mini excavator, I would not shy away from this model at all. It's been nothing but good to me. It has zero swing too. Well, unless you got this thing open. Definitely heads up for that. Zero swing, decent visibility everywhere. I mean, obviously it's pretty ugly, but it does the job very well. Other than that, I'm gonna give this thing a wash and clean it up. I'm really hoping that it lasts for another 5 years. Like I said, I really want to get another one and just kind of have this one be the backup or small jobs. And my big one is going to be doing the majority of the work. So if anyone sees any used 18,000 to 22,000 pound excavators, let me know, because I'm in the market for one. But until then, I don't think I have any plans to sell this thing. I'm going to try to keep it forever. Obviously, if the engine goes, I'll consider putting one in it. But hopefully it's far away from that. On the next excavator I get, I'm definitely going to be getting a rototilt. For my company, we use our machines in the winter for plowing and loading up sand, and you really can't use this in the winter. I've thought about doing, like, on big storms, bring it to the storage unit to shovel outdoors, but that's really about all it can do. I mean, it's not efficient loading sand trucks at all. Too small of a bucket, and it's only pointing that way. If you had a rototilt, you could swing it over, grab the sand, then put it into your dump truck, which would be really nice. So on my next excavator, I'm definitely gonna equip it so it can be used in the winter. One thing that really bugs me and why I didn't get another excavator instead of another skid steer or something like that is a skid steer can be used year round. Up here in Maine, we deal a lot with the snow, especially my company. So it didn't really make sense to get another excavator because it can't be used in the winter. But if I got the rototilt, I could definitely justify using it year round. So yeah, that's about it. Obviously it's not a very informational review because I don't know jack shit, but all I can tell you, it's been extremely reliable for me. And if you're in the market for a used mini excavator, I would definitely look for one of these. My next review video is going to be our Kubota tractor we bought last fall. So stay in tune for that. Again, thanks for watching. Comment anything down below if you know more about this machine. But thanks again for watching.